so that's okay. Happy to help patients late in the day as well. So again, this month, we're almost finished up with April. We're talking about spring allergies this month. And we're tonight especially looking at headaches and sinuses as pertains to allergies. And what do allergies really tell you? I mean, what is that? Well, allergies tell us that we have a liver that is toxic. That's what it really means. It doesn't mean that you have a particular problem with pollen or whatever. I mean, that may be the things that are stuck in your lymphatics that the body can't get rid of, and you fight that as an allergen response. But having allergies really tells us that we have a toxic liver. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the liver is having to deal with so much gunk and goo and trash and junk in lymphatics that it can't keep up. It's just overwhelmed, and when that happens, the lymphatics back up from the liver up into the sinuses, and the sinuses is basically an overflow of lymphatics that can't get processed through the liver, through the gallbladder, into the bowel and out. So it backs it up into the sinuses, and then it drains out the sinuses. So all the lymphatics, especially on the upper body, are full of gunk, and the body can't get it all out. Most people don't even realize they have a lymph system, don't really have any idea what it is. But most people understand that if you have tonsils that are swollen, or you've had your tonsils removed, or adenoids, or those kind of things, or if you had lymph glands down here that are swollen, that is part of the lymph system. The lymph system is responsible for getting a hold of infections or bugs and things, even dust and pollen and things, and neutralizing them before they get into the actual body, into the actual blood system. Very, very important system, but most people don't even realize it's going on in there. So really important to realize that this system is overwhelmed, and the liver is really the problem behind what's going on. Now, the kidneys are also part of your getting rid of toxins or toxins release system. And so many times if the kidneys are not happy, then the liver's not happy. If the liver's overloaded, the kidneys get overloaded. Kidneys, of course, have a lot to do with blood pressure, the fluid retention in the body, and there's all kinds of things, and these things are all related. So it's important to realize that this is one big system, even the rest of the body too. If the kidneys aren't working good, not getting rid of fluid, well, you can have high blood pressure, and then the heart gets involved, and all that problem goes on. So, so it's important, again, to realize that the body has to be treated as a whole organism, rather than just treating symptoms of certain organ systems, certain parts of the body, and then treating that with medications, which is very popular and common. And it's maybe life-saving when people have, again, very high blood pressure, when they have a stroke. That's understandable. But the question is never asked is what's behind all this stuff. So we want to get into really what's going on behind it. I'm going to have a pretty abbreviated talk tonight because we're kind of running late. But it just all ties together what we're doing here at Natural Health. And I'll kind of explain what we do with it here when we get done. Of course, I'm Dr. Mark. I've been in practice now over 40 years. Lots of experience with all these things. Had a lot of allergies myself when I was younger, and that had to do with, even back then, as I look back, a lot of the things we were eating were not very good. For instance, we drank a lot of milk back in those days. And milk is processed milk. Now I'm talking about raw cow's milk. Raw cow's milk is actually good for you, but the processed refined milk is very mucus producing because it's so irritating to the mucous membranes of the body, of the esophagus, stomach, the bowel, that it's very mucus producing. And mucus, of course, it gets into your sinuses, the way to deal with it, snot running everywhere, you're picking up and absorbing all these pollens and things, the body can't get rid of it, liver's all unhappy because, again, the milk has been processed and it's dead, the body has to deal with all that, and it just causes all kind of trouble. So that's just one of the causes of problems with allergies, especially as a younger person, and especially even as babies, if they're drinking a lot of cow's milk, refined cow's milk. I mean, cow's milk is milk for calves, not milk for baby. Human babies should be on human milk. Very important to understand the reasons behind that. So as you get into the headache part, I mean, people have headaches all over the body, all over the head, and many of them have certain reasons. People that have headaches in the back of the neck, that's usually a chiropractic issue. Usually has to deal with the muscles that are over-tightened, the nerves that are irritated in the upper cervical spine area. And Dr. Chip will talk probably some more about that in a little bit. But especially the headaches around the front of the head area, above the eyes, the temples, like I said, the forehead, and even sometimes into the maxillary sinus areas, kind of even the halo effect. That can be, has to do with the sinuses. And again, coming from all this, what we just talked about here, that the lymphatics are backing up, the body's not able to get rid of all the things, and you may not even have like sinus drainage, but still have the headache. And that can still be the other lymphatics, the mastoid sinuses, those things are all full of gunk, and body's not getting rid of things. Even inflammation from all these different processes going on, the allergy and allergen responses of these things get stuck in lymphatics, the body's fighting that, and again, there's lots of inflammation throughout that whole system, even the membranes that surround the sinuses, whether they're in the frontal, maxillary, mastoid, sinus areas, all kind of inflammation going on with that. And then that will irritate the head, of course, and then you can add that to any circulatory issues, whether there's a lot of inflammation, a lot of too much blood in the area, too much fluid in the area. Again, that inflammation involved with that, and that's got to do with the cardiovascular part. So we find that most headaches are due to one or three of these parts, either the liver backup with all the problems with the sinuses there, the circulatory issues from whatever that was behind that, and then the cervical spine issues from the muscles being over tightened. If the muscles are over tightened in the neck and upper back, lymphatics don't drain very well. And so that's another reason why people that have a headache, even in the sinus areas, because the neck is out of place and the nerve is irritated and the nerve tightens the muscles, lymphatics don't drain. It's all tied together, all part of the body. Like what reason, again, you have to look at the whole organism as a whole. And so, again, the sinuses, and you're blowing your nose, that's going on, but you want to get that all drained out. And we want that to drain out through the liver, out through the bowel. That's where you're supposed to eliminate all this stuff. And that's why people, a lot of times, if they're getting around foods that cause trouble, will have mucus in the stool, because there's all that gunk coming out. When we do a lot of detox work, you'd be surprised what comes out of the body. Even if you probably even heard of a fatty liver. A fatty liver is where the liver is having such problems it can't get rid of the byproducts of metabolic breakdown, and it just has to stick it in the fat so that because it can't handle the chemical. That fat is a good place to put chemicals and problems the body can't handle. So the body will have a fatty liver, which is really a chronic problem with that liver. Gallstones, all those kind of things have to do with even kidney stones, but gallstones especially have to do with the whole sludge of that system. It's just not working right. And again, when you get into that even deeper, if the liver is congested, it's not absorbing correctly, not digesting correctly, the gallbladder's messed up, you're not going to absorb your good fats and oils, which are your oil-soluble vitamins, like vitamin A for the lungs and eyes, and vitamin E for the skin, and vitamin D for the immune system, and all those things, again, all tied in with the liver, the kidneys, the gut, it's just all tied together, and you really have to know what you're doing. And that's what we do at Natural Health. We have the technique on the nutrition side, nutrition response testing is a way that we can look at the body as a whole and help the body with food and help the person get off of what they think are foods that are really chemicals that are poisoning them, and then even look at their environment closer to get rid of the troublemaking problems of the body. Work towards actual health. And then on the chiropractic side, getting the nervous system to work correctly, getting the impulses from the brain that know how to heal the body, get that working correctly so the body can then know what it's doing, coordinate its efforts, and heal itself correctly. So a lot of the work we do at Natural Health is removing barriers, which you could call a subluxational barrier. The other things we look at the nutrition side are barriers of why the body can't get well, why the body is stuck in a disease state. So you want to try to get all those barriers broken through, get the body working correctly, and able to heal itself. The body's been able to heal itself for thousands and thousands and maybe millions of years, depending on what you look at. So the body has the ability to heal itself, but you have to remove these barriers and not keep poisoning it with all of the things that we do to ourselves every day. So that's what we do at Natural Health, is ask the body what is needed help with, how can we do that, what can we do to help that body get well. And that body is very individual, again, depending on the genetic blueprint, which is just a blueprint, but that determines how a body sometimes reacts to all these environmental problems. and that can depend on where that body's from. So people that were more of a Norwegian background will have a different way of handling that, more from an Italian. There was how different sunlight, different things, and different backgrounds. So you have to be able to realize that and not treat everybody the same way, but treat everybody very individually. And with our work we do here, we do that very well, and look at the sensitivities of the body and how that body responds, and then be able to work with that. So that's what we do. I think that's probably enough for me tonight, explaining that part. If you have any questions, of course, you can always let us know. We do free consultations here at the office. If you haven't ever been to a chiropractic office before, or our nutritionist office before, we can explain what we're doing with that. We also, on our website, Natural Quincy, or Natural Quincy, or naturalquincy.com, that is a website that has videos on what we do here, so you can kind of see what we're up to with things. Again, you're always welcome to come and ask questions and have a free consultation. And again, you can even come to these health shops if you like. We're always happy to help explain things. Information out, especially in mainstream, that's way too tied into pharmaceutical stuff and all that, a whole other discussion. So enough for me. I'll turn good details. Have a great week and let the sun shine.
All right, hello everybody. I'm Dr. Chip, and again, we're going to keep continuing the spring allergies, headaches, sinuses, and so that again you get a full detailed picture of what's all going on here. So again, I do like to go back to the basics. I like to keep it simple, and part of keeping it simple is to see that what really does unbalance our bodies. What does actually cause our bodies to get to a point where it goes from having no pain or no symptoms to now the body is starting to show those different signs. More of, you would say, kind of warning signals to say, hey, there is something going on here that we need to address. So again, you can kind of see is that we have these three different categories or areas. It's traumas, toxins, and thoughts. Now, again, like Dr. Mark explained about the foods, everything, the nutrition, again, an important side to that, helping other people in a different way there too, just to help, again, help the body to cleanse, clean, so that all the systems are able to work properly. That's kind of your toxin part. A lot of times too is that if we're able to get the body working well, foods are able to, again, cleanse and clean the body there too. It's able to do what it needs to so that your body's in a good state to where we do not have head pain and that our sinuses are doing well. And so again, allergies, we sometimes get caught into that thinking process of, oh, allergies are the average. They're the normal. Everybody gets them and they're always there every year. That's simply not the case. Again, not everybody has allergies, so we need to actually at least think and assess that to say, hey, why do some people have it and some people don't? Why do some people have it at certain times? And everything like that. So again, there's reasons. There are causes to have those issues. And so again, kind of looking back to what can unbalance the body that way. Now trauma, again, this is kind of more of different areas to where it's kind of more your physical part. So you kind of see here, again, it's always good to move our bodies. Of course, when we get some good motion, simple walking, different things like going outside, exercises. A lot of people are different in those areas there too. And so when we're moving our bodies, like Dr. Mark explained about the lymph system, our muscles are kind of more like pumps, and they're actually able to push and circulate different fluids, toxins, waste, everything, so that's able to cleanse out through the body. And so again, walking, of course, very underrated, you would say, but it's very helpful. And again, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to walk 10 miles a day. It can be as simple as 15 or 20 minutes just to get your body moving, and especially in these times, good sunny days, warm weather, again, helping your body to kind of get kind of like a sweat going on, but just anything in general will help the body like that. And again, all those exercises, they're all good. Of course, they're going to be suitable for your age or expertise or anything like that. Now, we kind of talk about the movement part. Now, a lot of times when some people can't move or when we choose not to, and that again, those are okay at sometimes, we need to have a rest period, a place or a time when we are able to cease activity and help our body to rest. And a very important part is the sleep. Of course, everybody's a little different in that, about 5 to 9 hours. Again, kind of in that window. Some people are more to one way or the other. But just knowing if you're getting up and you're feeling refreshed and everything, that's a good indicator that you are sleeping well. And then also on that part too is that we don't want to overdo the physical activity. If we're going too much, if we're you would say, expelling too much energy from our bodies, then we're not allowing our bodies to function capable or replenish our system. And so just like a phone, you wouldn't go all day or all week without giving it a charge, because you know that either one, it would lose its actual production or its actual ability to function properly, or it would not be able to function at all. And so again, that would be the same kind of analogy too, to where if you're having pain or symptoms, it's because you're getting too far in that end to where you're not able to have enough energy to actually have your systems functioning optimal. So again, kind of the trauma, those toxins, and then the thoughts, of course, there too. Many people, we'll kind of talk about water here too. Again, it's always great to stay hydrated. Again, helps the fluids and everything do well, and then helps to cleanse and clean our body too. But then, of course, thoughts, like we kind of said, the headaches and sinuses, it's kind of another picture there too. But our thoughts are important because many times when we are kind of going busy, we're thinking about a lot of different things, we're getting kind of overwhelmed with a lot of different events and people and all that. That can be taxing on the body too, because if we are allowing our minds to go too far, too crazy all the time, we're not getting enough rest for our brain and body. And just like you would say, the mind or the brain, if you're thinking overloaded or going a lot of things going on, it can act almost, you would say, like an energy depletion, or not a parasite in a sense, but it's just kind of more depleting so much. Now the body's getting taxed. And so that's why you would say rest is important, but even activities that you help to cease mental activity, and such as sports or some fun things you can do, board games, all that, you're just actually allowing yourself to get out of whatever you were doing. That can be thinking about different things such as business or career or family things or anything like that. Sometimes we need a break. We need a break from that, and we need to cease that activity. And so that's why, again, recreation, play, that's a good thing for our brain and body to kind of get more of a reset there too. And again, it could be other activities there too. It could be different movies or books or anything like that. So again, always good things there too. Just everybody kind of has their different likes and dislikes there too. And so, like we said there too, again with the brain, it's always good to kind of balance both sides. But a lot of times we forget about our creative side there too. So you can see that there's a logic and a creative side. And the logic, again, it's good to where we're able to process information, we're able to make plans, we're able to kind of move forward in a sense. And again, that is good for planning out, the future plans. But if we're always using this side, we're not being able to create things, then again, we're kind of overworking one system and then unbalancing the brain. So again, it's always good to at least, you would say, kind of venture out, have some fun, thinking about different things. You can even be discussing different topics with friends and family, just like that, because you're working at different parts of your brain, and that helps to kind of balance out that whole process. And really, a lot of times in life is that when we want to, build something or think about different things, we tend to think that we need to use this side so much. But sometimes, again, when we're able to let go, relax, a lot of times this is when it kicks in. And this is what many, inventors and inventions and science and all that, they actually are using this side a lot, because things don't always seem the way they are, because we get stuck here. But now again, as we kind of use those different things, we kind of be creative. Creative is kind of more that fun process, that play nature. We're able to kind of have more of a balance. And so again, those are just kind of different areas of how we can kind of help ourselves with everything. Kind of going back to that thoughts, traumas, toxins. And again, just to make it more kind of clear there too, is that, like we said, is that many people get kind of into that notion that allergies or sickness or disease is the common, is the normal, I would say. But I mean, unfortunately, it's kind of more of the average, because many people nowadays, especially in the U.S., have some kind of illness or chronic illness, and that's again just kind of more of the average, but not normal. But normal is again healthy, again feeling good and functioning well. So again, just getting back to that nature, knowing that there's possibilities that you can do or that are out there. Again, here we kind of are using different techniques such as chiropractic, nutrition, different ways to balance out your brain and body to where you can feel good and function well. So again, I think that is, again, it for tonight. Like we said before, you can always follow us at Natural Health Quincy IL at Facebook, YouTube, Bryan, and Instagram. We are located at 2000 Jefferson Street in Quincy, Illinois. The email, again, our website is naturalhealthquincy.com. You can always subscribe to our email list. And of course, these health shops are more of giving you out information that, again, you can empower yourselves to know that there are opportunities or possibilities out there to help you. And so again, we are here just to support that. So thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of the week. Thanks.